Namaste to all, a very beautiful question. In spite of knowing that there are certain deeds which are sinful deeds, I know that these are sinful deeds, but in spite of knowing it, I am unable to stop committing sins. That means I continuously commit sins on a daily basis. Why is it, and how to avoid committing sins? I'm very sure at least 99 percentage of people who are viewing these videos, including myself who is making this video, we are all sinners. We all commit sins. We all do Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar on a daily basis because none of us are yogis. Only a yogi is pure. He becomes so pure that Almighty God reveals Himself to that yogi. So, our aim in life is to become pure. Our aim in life is to become as pure as possible. If we are not fully pure in this janma, we will try to do the sadhana in the next janmas also, because God will take us towards that path. If we are committed, if we are worshippers of that Almighty God mentioned in the Vedas, God will give us opportunity to continue our sadhana in the next janma also. So the important point is, are we really willing to stop committing sins? Yes, most of us will answer yes, I want to stop committing sins, but I am unable to stop committing sins. Sins like alasya, laziness. I'm unable to get up early in the morning. Every day in the night I take a sankalp that tomorrow morning I'll wake up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock to do jap, to do sadhana, to do agnihotra, but I'm unable to get up. Next day morning again I fail. This is one of the sin. It's a minor sin. Another sin is I have taken sankalp to stop krodh, to stop being angry on people, but then every day I commit this sin. And another could be like, I have taken a sankalp to stop telling lies, asatya bolna. I don't want to tell asatya, but still I continue to say asatya. So what is the reason why we are doing these sins? Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar, and there are so many types of sins, minor sins, major sins, like the recent sisters rape in Kolkata. These are major sins, major crime, and I hope the government will find out the right culprits and punish them and burn them to death. Anyways, sins, when it comes to sins, it could be minor sins, it could be major sins, it could be sins which are taking us away from the Almighty God. So how do we avoid? Before trying to avoid committing sins, first of all we must understand why we commit sins. Couple of points here. See, we do not, when we want to do any deed, we do not see from the point of view of sin or pious deeds. Normally जीवात्मा अपने हित जिसमें देखता है. That means when I see a benefit in doing something, I do it. Sin or pious deed is a secondary matter for me. This is the mentality of most of us. So for example, I am working in a company and I speak lies to my boss, or I speak lies to my customers, or when I'm in a business I speak asatya to my customers. Why? Because I see there is a benefit to me. When I speak this, I see a benefit to me. I get some more profit, or I get some more income, or I get some good increment in the next year, etc., etc. I see some benefit and then I commit that deed, number one. And also, in the case of krodh, I shout at my wife, I shout at my maid, I shout at my daughter, I shout at my parents. Example, I don't do it, but I'm just telling an example. Why I do it? Because I see some benefit there, some labh there, some gain there, or some satisfaction when I show my anger to somebody. So maybe I feel a mental ego satisfaction. I have because I know that I am superior to them, so I want to show my superiority to them by showing my anger. Many people show angers to their colleagues who are subordinates, like 5-6 team members are reporting to one person, and this person always gets angry on the team members because he is superior and he has a high ego. And then when he shows his superiority in terms of krodh, then he gets a satisfaction. Of course, I'm not telling that we must never do krodha. Krodha is necessary. For example, when your kid is small, you must do krodha to correct him or her. That is important. But you must use this power, what Almighty God has given us. We must use it judicially. If we are not judiciously, if we are not doing this judiciously, then we will enter into Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar. So wherever I see a hit, I see a labh, I see a gain, I see a profit, I commit. I don't see this is sin or not sin, etc. I just commit that this is the swabhav of Jivatma. And secondly, wherever I see a hit, I see a loss. For example, I'm a short-tempered guy, but I will never become angry at my boss, because I know that if I am angry at my boss, I will lose my job. I will never become angry on my customers, because I know if I am angry on my customers, I will lose my business. Similarly, you will never become angry on some people, because you know that when you are angry on him or her, you are going to lose. So जीवात्मा जिसमें हित देखता है वो कर्म करता है, जिसमें हानि देखता है वो कर्म नहीं करता है. If I see a loss in some karma, I will not do that karma. This is the fundamental. This we must understand. The next step is going to Papa Punya. First is understanding the Swabhava of Jivatma. So now we must link this gain and profit to the Vedic Dharma. How do we link? For example, what we do not see is the long-term impact. What we do not see is the omnipresence of Almighty God. What we do not see is the result of this karma in a longer run in the next janmas, etc. This we do not see, because we do not have Vedic education, because we do not have practice of Vedic education in our life. Many people in South India, they do everyday Sandhya Vandana, they do Gayatri Mantra Jap, they do Om Jap, some people do even everyday Homa with Samhita Dana, etc. But they still commit Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar, including myself. I am just telling the same thing. So we do not see the dosh. We just see the short-term benefit, but we do not never see the dosh in that karma. So for us to get outside the sinful deeds, we must try to see the dosh in that deed. When I speak asatya, maybe I get some money, maybe I will get a increment when I speak lies to my boss, or when I do anger to some, sometimes in some companies I have seen that when you are angry at your subordinates, your superior likes that. Your superior says that, oh, okay, you are a good manager because you are angry. And the same manager does not like the another team member, because he is always friendly with his team members. So he says, from his point of view, he rates this guy who is a Krodhi he gives higher rating, and the other guy who is a gentleman, he does not give higher rating. So when we work for short-term gains, because if I become Krodha, my boss is happy, so I become angry. This I have seen in my life. Maybe you would have seen similarly in various instances. I'm just telling one example of Krodha. Similarly, asatya bolna. So when you speak a lies and sell a product, your boss will appreciate you because you have sold the product. So we all see the short-term gain or a materialistic gain in our hands, but we never see the presence of Paramatma. We never understand the dosh in that karma. So to understand the presence of Paramatma and dosh in that karma, we must every day do Mananchintan. Every day try to go through my videos. I'm telling my videos. There are so many videos made by Vedic scholars. Of course, most of them are not in English to my knowledge. Most of them are in Hindi. But so if you know Hindi, try to go through various good videos made by many acharyas, including my acharya. He has made 700. He has not made, but whatever he has spoken in Yagya is available in YouTube. Try to go through them again and again, take notes, and understand what is materialistic gain and what is spiritual gain. Am I here to do a short-term gain and then die off and then in the next janma suffer, or am I here to follow the dharma? This we must understand carefully. So how to avoid doing sins? So how to avoid doing sins is, see, one more thing we must understand. When you do bure karma, when you do bad deeds, you will get sanskar of bad sanskar, and from that bad sanskar again bad vritti, chitta vritti will again utpan hota hai. देखो, by from deeds sanskar, from sanskar again vritti, and from vritti again deeds. So when we start doing bad deeds, we will gain bad sanskar. We will gain the ashubh sanskar, and from ashubh sanskar we will we will get ashubh vritti, and from ashubh vritti we will again do ashubh deed. So we must try to cut off at sanskar level, but it's not possible without tapasya. So when you are committing sins, even I was a very big sinner, I know that, I know my personal situation. Now also I am a sinner, maybe a little bit better person from earlier times, because I started simply blindly believing my acharya. My acharya said only one thing, that you want to improve yourself, you pray every day, Yad Bhadrantan Asuva Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva. You pray every day that, oh Almighty God, please take away my sins, please give me all the good deeds. Every day you pray, but still you are committing sins because you lack Manan Chintan, because you lack name jap, because you lack everyday Swadhyaya. So I started these three things every day, meticulously, try to do at least focused, dedicated time for some time. And then when COVID hit, I thought I should also speak up, I should also make videos, and these videos are beneficial for me more than anybody else, because when I speak up I also listen, and that sankalp again becomes a sanskar. So I get inspiration to do good deeds again and again based on good karma I do. So similarly, when you do not see the short term gain, when you see the long term gain, and similarly if there is a loss, okay, let it be a loss. If you are getting a loss, it is only a short term loss, it is only for this janma. This janma is short term, but longer term, God is watching you, God will reward you for your good deeds, God will reward you for your control of kam, krodh, madh, lobh, ahankar. This we must remember. But for remembering this, you must do everyday sadhana, you must listen to acharya every day. Even though, like, when I see my acharya's other disciple, some of them, not everyone, some of them, they come to acharya, but they don't listen to acharya on daily basis, they don't read acharya's books on daily basis. So in that case, what happens is, I'm not saying that they are committing crimes, but what will happen is, slowly our sanskar, the impressions, sanskar means impressions, sanskar will be materialism. So when you go towards materialism, you will definitely get involved in sins. So that's why God also says we must have a very right balance. Vidyam cha vidyam Istadvedo. Vidyam cha vidyam, in one of the explanation, my acharya says that both materialism and spirituality should go side by side. Otherwise, what happens is, when you are only materialistic person, nobody can stop you from committing sins. And when you are only a spiritual person, you cannot be alive, because you will not have food to eat, you will not have money to survive, you will not have money to pay your medical bills, you will not be able to survive, sustain your family. So this is very, very important. So when you want to stop doing sins, even though you know these are the sinful things, first of all, write in your notebook that what are those things which are sinful things which you are doing in your life. But like, jhoot bolna, calm, there are some people who are very, very nice, they do not have krodha, but they have a high kama vasna, they have high sexual desire, both male and female. So write down your sinful tendencies, what you have, and then you understand, okay, these are my sinful tendencies. So when the situation arises, I indulge in sensuality, I indulge in krodha, I indulge in speaking speaking lies, I indulge in eating non-veg, I indulge in smoking, I indulge in drinking. Many sinful things can happen in life. Write down all those things and then try to make a plan, and with that plan, please include Almighty God's worship, include everyday name jap, include everyday tapasya, include everyday acharya seva, or listening to acharya, or reading books written by acharya. If you do not have an acharya, you can read my acharya books. If you do not have an acharya, you can read Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati books, you can read many other books. There are really good acharyas in Arya Samajis who are not samadhist yogi, they are not rishis, but they are really, really good tapasvis. They have spoken many information from Vedas and Sutras and Darshanas and Upanishads. You can try to learn those things also in your free time. So you keep your mind occupied in Shubh Karma, naturally your vritti will become Shubh. And when your vritti is Shubh, you will not mostly commit sins. So this is a continuous process, and this stopping sins is not possible in one janma. It will take several janmas, but you must start somewhere. So these are some of the tips I have noted down. And lastly, there is also, like, some people who are really nice people, but they are in addiction, nasha, gutka, kana, cigarette pina. They are good people, they don't get krodha, they do even sadhana, but they cannot stop cigarette, they cannot stop gutka, tambaku, etc. In that case also again the same thing, the jivatma is seeing the labh, short term gain. Jivatma is not seeing the next janma. We must try to see both the janmas, this janma and the next janma. Only if you see the labh of this janma, then you do any act, any sinful deed or any deed, no problem. But when you want to see the next janma as a tapasvi, then you must carefully analyze, and then to come out of nasha, to come out of addiction, you must get into medicines, or get into counseling, or get into any hospital where they will treat you. You must take a sankalp and do that, then you will stop, for sure you will stop. Almighty God also will help us. Thank you so much. Namaste.